माइंडसेट में आपका स्वागत है। आज हम बात करने वाले हैं अंग्रेजी में थोड़ी सी इंग्लिश में द सीक्रेट के बारे में। इफ यू लर्न दिस पर्टिकुलर बुक, आपके माइंडसेट, आपके बिहेवियर, आपकी लर्निंग, आपकी अर्निंग, आपके हैबिट्स, आपके डिसीजन में भी ये असर देगा। So listen this particular video, listen this particular audio while you are driving, while you are cooking, while you are learning, while you are earning, when whatever you are doing, उसको सुनते सुनते आप इसको कीजिए। आपकी लाइफ में अधिक से भी ज़्यादा अधिक ट्रांसफ़ॉर्मेशन आएगा। तो मैं इस पूरी बुक को डेली लाइव आगे पढ़ने वाला हूँ। द बुक इज़ कॉल्ड द सीक्रेट। ये जैसे हमारे यहाँ पे गीता है, इट इज़ लाइक द सेम लाइक गीता। तो लिसन विथ मी, लेट्स स्टार्ट। ध्यान सुनिएगा, कहीं भी लगा के फ़ोन अपने कानों में आवाज़ की पूरी तरीके से गूंज को लेके जाते हुए इस सीक्रेट बुक को सुनते हुए। लेट्स स्टार्ट इन अंग्रेज़ी, थोड़ी-सी अंग्रेज़ी सुनते हुए। द सीक्रेट रिवील्ड, बॉब प्रॉक्टर कहते हैं, philosopher, author, and personal coach. The secret gives you anything you want: happiness, health, and wealth. जो डॉक्टर जो विटेले, metaphysician, marketing specialist, and author. You can have, do, or be anything you want. John Ashraf, entrepreneur and money making expert. We can have whatever it is that we choose. I don't care how big it is. कहने का मतलब आप कुछ भी पा सकते हो आप चाहे तो. What kind of house do you want to live in? Do you want to be a millionaire? What kind of business do you want to have? Do you want to be more successful? What do you really want? डॉक्टर जॉन डी मार्टिनी, फिलोसफर हैं, कायरोप्रैक्टर हैं, हीलर है, पर्सनल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन स्पेशलिस्ट है। कहते हैं, दिस इज द ग्रेट सीक्रेट ऑफ लाइफ। नाउ अनदर एक्सपर्ट पर्सन हमारे माशे, डॉक्टर डेनिस वेटली, psychologist and trainer in the field of mind potential. He's saying the leaders in the past who had the secret wanted to keep the power and not share the power. They kept people ignored the secret. People went to work. They did their job. They come home. They work on the treadmill with no power because the secret was kept in the few. Throughout the history, there have been many who coveted the knowledge of the secret, and have been many who found a way of spreading this knowledge to the world. Michael Burnett Beckwith, visionary and founder of IJP, International Spiritual Center. I've seen many miracles take place in people's lives. Financial miracles, miracles of physical healing, mental healing, healing of relationships. जैक कैनफील्ड कहते हैं, ऑथर, टीचर, लाइफ कोच है, मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर है, एंड ही इज सेइंग ऑल ऑफ दिस हैपेंड बिकॉज ऑफ नोइंग हाउ टू दे अप्लाई सीक्रेट। व्हाट इज द सीक्रेट? क्या है सीक्रेट? समझते हैं। फॉर प्रॉक्टर, यू प्रोबेबली बीन सिटिंग देयर वंडरिंग व्हाट्स द सीक्रेट। आई टेल यू हाउ। I've come to understand it. We all work with one infinite power. We all guide ourselves by exactly the same laws. The natural laws of the universe are so precise that we don't even have any difficulty building spaceships. We can send people to the moon and we can time the landing with the precision of the fraction of a second. Wherever you are, India, Australia, New Zealand, Stockholm, London, Toronto, Montreal, New York, we are all working with one power, one law. It's the law of attraction. Secret is law of attraction. Everything that's coming into your life is you are interacting in your life. And it's attracted to you by virtue of your images you are holding in your mind. It's what you are thinking, whatever going on your mind, you are attracting to. कहने का मतलब कह रहे हैं कि जो आप में मन में अपने विचार सोच रखे हैं, उन विचारों के साथ आप जीवन जी रहे हो और उसके आधार पे ही आप जीवन मिलता है। Let's come forward. Every thought of yours is a real thing. Cretins Melford. The greatest teachers who have ever lived have told us that the law of attraction is the most powerful law of the universe. Poets such as William Shakespeare, Robert Browning, William Blake delivered it in the poetry. Musicians such as Ludwig van Beethoven expressed it through their music. Artists such as Leonardo da Vinci depicted in it in their paintings. Great thinkers, including Socrates, Plato, Ralph Waldo Emerson, together Sir Francis Bacon, Sir Isaac Newton, John and Wolfgang von Goethe, and Victor Hugo share it in their writings and teachings. Their names have been immortalized. Their legendary existence have survived centuries. Religions such as Hinduism, Hermetic tradition, Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, civilizations such as the ancient Babylons and Egyptian delivered it through their writing and stories. Throughout the ages, in all its form, the law can be found in ancient writing through all the centuries. It was recorded in stone in 3000 BC. Even though some coveted this knowledge, and indeed they did, it has always been there for anyone to discover. Law began at the beginning of time. It has always been, will always be. ये रहेगा, जिंदगी भर रहेगा और चलता रहेगा, ये कह रहे हैं इनके राइटर. It is the law that determines the complete order in the universe, every moment in your life, every single thing you experience in your life. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are. The law of attraction forming your entire life experience. And power of law is doing that through your thoughts. You are the one who calls the law of attraction into action, and you do it through your thought. In 1912, Hennel described the law of attraction as the greatest and the most infallible law upon which entire system of creation depends. तो इतने बड़े साइंटिस्ट चार्ल्स एलन एनल डिस्क्राइब करते हैं ये बड़ा बड़ा सीक्रेट है जिसको कभी तोड़ा नहीं जा सकता. जैसे आगे पढ़ते हैं, बॉब प्रॉक्टर कहते हैं, wise people have always known this. You can go right back to ancient Babylons. They have always known this. It's a small select group of people. ये छुपाया गया था, रोका गया था, दबाया गया था. The ancient Babylons and their great prosperity have been well documented by scholars. They are also known for creating one of the seven wonders of world, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Through their understanding and application of the law of universe, they became one of the wealthiest races in history. इतने अमीर बन गए थे कि उस टाइम पे भी इन्होंने इस लॉ को इस्तेमाल करके अपनी जिंदगी को और अपने रिचनेस को बढ़ा दिया था. बॉब प्रॉक्टर, why do you think that 1% of the population earns around 96% of all the money that's being earned? Do you think that it is an accident? क्या ये एक हादसा है? It's a design that fail. ये डिजाइन किया गया है. They understand something. They understand something. They understand the secret, and now you are being introduced to the secret. People who have been drawn wealth into their lives use the secret, whether consciously or unconsciously. They think thoughts of abundance and wealth. They do not allow any contradictory thoughts to take the root in their minds. Their predominant thoughts are of wealth. They only know wealth, and nothing else exists in their mind. Whether they are aware of it or not, their predominant मतलब जो प्रबल मतलब डोमिनेंट उनका मेन थॉट है, थॉट ऑफ वेल्थ होता है, brought wealth to them. It's the law of attraction in action. Perfect example of demonstrate the secret. The law of attraction in the action is this. You may know people who acquired massive wealth, lost it all. Within short time acquired massive wealth again. बहुत बड़ी massive धन दौलत लौटाने के बाद भी छोटे period of time में दोबारा acquired कर ली. What happened in these cases, whether they knew it or not, is that the dominant thoughts were on the wealth. That is how they acquired it first instance. Then they allowed fearful thoughts of losing wealth in enter their mind until those fearful thoughts of loss became their dominant thoughts. They tipped the scales from the thinking thoughts of wealth to thinking the thoughts of loss. And so they lost it all. But they had lost it, however, the feel of loss disappeared. And they tipped the scales back with the dominant thoughts of wealth. And wealth returned. Wealth सोचा wealth वापस रिटर्न मिल गई इनको. The law responds to your thoughts no matter what they may be. कहने का मतलब जो आप सोचते हो वो आपको रिस्पॉन्ड करेगा, वो कैसे भी हो कोई भी हो पता नहीं है पर आपको मिलेगा. लाइक अट्रैक्ट्स लाइक. जॉन अस्टरऑफ कहते हैं द सिंपलेस्ट वे ऑफ फॉर मी टू लुक एट द लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन इज इफ आई थिंक ऑफ माई सेल्फ एज अ मैग्नेट. And I know that a magnet will attract to it. You are the most powerful magnet in the universe. You contain a magnetic power within you that is more powerful than anything in this world. And it's unfathomable magnetic, or it's emitted through your thoughts. कि मन की चाह से आपकी मैग्नेटिक पावर बहुत इंक्रीज होती है। ये कह रहे हैं ये बॉब डॉयल, ऑथर एंड लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन स्पेशलिस्ट कहते हैं। Basically put, the law of attraction says that like attracts like, but we are really talking at level of thought. The law of attraction says like attracts like, and so as you think a thought, you are attracting like thoughts to you. Here are more examples you may have experienced of a law of attraction in your life. Have you ever started think about something you were not happy about? The more you thought about it, the worse it seemed. That's because as you think one sustained thought, the law of attraction immediately brings more like thoughts to you. सही बात है. In a matter of minutes, you have gotten so many like unhappy thoughts coming to you that situation seems getting worse. The more you think about it, the more upset you get. You may have experienced attracting like thoughts when you listened to a song and then found that you couldn't get the song out of your head. The song just kept playing over and over in your mind when you listen to the song, even though you may not have realized it. You have you gave your full attention and focus throughout thought to it. As you did that, you were powerfully attracting more like thoughts of that song. And so the law of attraction moved into action, delivered more thoughts of that song. Over and over again. Donna Sharaf कहते हैं, our job as humans is to hold on the thoughts of what we want, make it absolutely clear in our minds what we want. From that we start to invoke one of the greatest laws in the universe, and that's the law of attraction. You become what you think about most, but you also attract what you think about most. जिसके बारे में ज्यादा सोचोगे वो बन जाती है, और जो जिसके बारे में ज्यादा सोचोगे उस तरीके से बन जाते हो. Life right now is a reflection of your past thought. It includes all the great things and all the things you consider not so great. Since you attract to you what you think about most, it is it is easy to see what your dominant thoughts have been on every subject of your life, because that is what you have experienced until now. Now you are learning secret, and what with the knowledge you can change everything. Bob Proctor कहते, if you see it in your mind, you are going to hold it in your hand. यहाँ देख लिया तो यहाँ पर भी आ जाएगा, यहाँ देख लिया तो यहाँ पर भी आ जाएगा, यहाँ देख लिया तो यहाँ पर भी आ जाएगा. I'm repeating the same word because it is a learning. Now आगे चलते हैं. If you can think about what you want in your mind and make that your dominant thought, you will bring it into life. हमारा dominant thought है कि राहुल माइंडसेट 30 मिलियन सब्सक्राइबर्स एनी हाउ करेगा, और ये हमारा dominant thought है, तो इसको हम करके रहेंगे. तो वो होगा, बुक के साथ साथ सबके साथ साथ. माइक डूली, ऑथर एंड, क्या क्या नाम है, माइक डूली, author and international speaker, and the prince, ये कहते हैं, and that principle can be summed up in three simple words. Summed up करते हैं. Thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. कुछ भी thoughts things बन जाता है. Through the most powerful law, your thoughts become the things in your life. Your thoughts becomes things. Say this over to yourself and let seep into consciousness, into your awareness. Your thoughts become things. John Ashraf दोबारा कहते हैं, what most people don't understand is that the thought has a frequency. We can measure a thought. So if you are thinking that thought over and over and over again, if you are imagining in your mind having the brand new car, having the money that you need, building that company, finding your soulmate, if you're imagining what that looks like, you are emitting that frequency on a consistent basis. लगातार आप ऐसी एनर्जी बाहर ट्रांसमिट कर रहे हो. डॉक्टर जो विटेले, thoughts are sending out the magnetic signal that is drawing the parallel back to you. Predominant thought or mental attitude is the magnet. The law is that like attracts like. Consequently, the mental Attitude invariably attracts such condition as correspond to its nature. Charles Hannell कहते हैं, thoughts are magnetic. Thoughts have a frequency. As you think, those thoughts are sent out in the universe. And they magnetically attract all like things that are on a same frequency. Being sent out returns to the source. And that source is you. Source is you. Source. Think of it the way we understand the television station transmission over broadcasts via frequency, which is a which is transformed into pictures into your television. Most of us don't really understand how it works, but we know that each channel has a frequency. And when tuned in the frequency, we see pictures on our television. We choose the frequency by selecting the channel, and we then receive the picture broadcast on that channel. If we want to see different pictures on our television, we change the channel and tune into new frequency. यानी कि मतलब जो चैनल देखना चाहते हैं, जो पिक्चर आप देखना चाहते हैं, उसके लिए आप टीवी पे आप डिफरेंट डिफरेंट चैनल चेंज करते हैं ना, तो मतलब उसका मतलब फ्रीक्वेंसी चेंज कर रहे हैं। आपको डिफरेंट पिक्चर, डिफरेंट डिफरेंट चित्र दिखते हैं, डिफरेंट बातें दिखती हैं। यू आर ह्यूमन ट्रांसमिशन टावर। आप ह्यूमन ट्रांसमिट टावर है। You are more powerful than any television tower created on Earth. You are most powerful transmission tower in the universe. Your transmission creates life and it creates the world. The frequency you transmit reach beyond cities, beyond countries, beyond the world. It reverberates throughout the entire universe. And you are transmitting the frequency with your thoughts. The pictures you receive from transmission of your thoughts are not on television screen in your living room. They are the pictures of your life. Your thoughts create the frequency. They attract like things on that frequency. And then they are broadcast back to you as your life pictures. If you want to change anything in your life, change the channel, change the frequency by changing your thoughts. अपनी फ्रीक्वेंसी को आप चेंज कर सकते हो, अपने चैनल को आप चेंज कर सकते हो, अपनी थॉट्स की फ्रीक्वेंसी को चेंज करके, अपने थॉट्स को चेंज करके, अपनी फ्रीक्वेंसी, अपने माइंडसेट को, अपने सारे डिसीजन को आप चेंज कर सकते हो. Vibration of mental forces are the finest and consequently most powerful in existence. चार्ल्स हैनल. बॉब प्रॉक्टर कहते हैं, see yourself living in abundance and you will attract it. See yourself in abundance, you will attract it, and it works every time with every person. If you think of yourself living in abundance, you are powerfully and consciously determining your life through the law of attraction. It's that easy. But then, most obvious question becomes, why isn't everybody living the life of their dreams? हाँ, ये सवाल है कि सब लोग क्यों नहीं जी रहे हैं अपनी लाइफ, ड्रीम लाइफ में. आगे बढ़ते. Attract the good instead of the bad. John Ashraf. Here's the problem. Most people are thinking about what they don't want. They they are wondering why it shows up over and over again. The only reason why people don't have what they want is because they are thinking more about what they don't want than what they don't want. Listen to your thoughts and listen to the words you are saying. The law is absolute. There are no mistakes. Law absolute है, law पक्का है, इसमें कोई mistake नहीं. An epidemic worse than a plague that humankind has ever seen has been raging for centuries. It is the don't want epidemic. People keep the epidemic alive when they ऐसे कोरोना भी हुआ है जो कि मोस्ट disastrous था. Alive when they predominantly think, speak, act, and focus on what they don't want. But this is the generation that we change history because we are receiving the knowledge that can free us of the epidemic. It begins with you, and you can become a pioneer of this new thought movement by simply thinking and speaking about what you want. What you want. अब डॉयल कहते हैं. The law of attraction doesn't care whether you perceive something to be good or bad, or whether you don't want it or whether you don't want it. Whether you don't want it or whether you do want it. It's responding to your thoughts. So if you are looking at a mountain of debt, feeling terrible about it, that's a signal that you're putting into the universe. Feel really bad about of all this debt. have got. You are just affirming it yourself. You feel it on every level of your being. It's what you're going to get more of. The law of attraction is a law of nature. It's impersonal, it does not see good things or bad things. It receiving your thoughts and reflecting back to you those thoughts as your life experience. The law of attraction simply gives you whatever it is you thinking about. लिजा निकोलस कहते हैं ऑथर एंड पर्सनल एम्पावरमेंट एडवोकेट। ठीक है जी, बहुत बढ़िया। द लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन इज रियली ओबीडियंट, बहुत मानने वाला, बहुत पक्का, बहुत वफादार है। व्हेन यू थिंक ऑफ द थिंग्स दैट you want and you focus on them with all of your intention, then the law of attraction will give you exactly what you want every time. When you focus on the things that you don't want, I don't want to be late, I don't want to be late, the law of attraction doesn't hear that you don't want it. It manifests. Okay, it manifests the thing that you thinking of, and so it's going to show up over again। मतलब कहने का मतलब, अगर आप कहते हो कि मैं लेट नहीं हूँ, मैं यहाँ ना जाऊँ, मेरे साथ बुरा ना हो जाए, तो वो उसमें ना नहीं सुनता, उसके अंदर वो बुरा हो जाए सुनता है। वो मैं लेट हो जाऊँ नहीं सुनता, वो लेट हो जाओ सुनता है। वो ना नहीं सुनता माइंड आपका। उसको ना सुनने की आदत भी नहीं कह सकते, उसको ना समझ में नहीं आता। माइंड डज़न्ट लिसन टू नो। व्हेन यू फोकस ऑन समथिंग, नो मैटर व्हाट यू हैपेंस टू बी, you really are calling that into existence। When you focus your thoughts on something you want and you hold that focus, you are in that moment summoning what you want, the mightiest power in the universe. Law of attraction doesn't compute don't or not or no or any other words or negation. As you speak words of negation, this is what the law of attraction is receiving. I don't want to spill something on this outfit। एक कहावत है कि मैं जी कुछ आउटफिट कुछ गिराना नहीं है। I want to spill something on this outfit and I want to spill more things। ये ऑटोमेटिकली आपके अंदर से इंटेंशन बन जाता है। आप कहते हो आई डोंट वांट टू बी वांट अ बैड हेयर कट, माइंड सुनता है वांट अ बैड हेयर कट। आई वांट टू बी डिलेड, आई वांट डिलेस, ये माइंड सुन रहा है। I don't want the person to be rude to me, I want that person and more people to be rude to me। I don't want the restaurant to give away our table, I want restaurant to give our tables। कहने का मतलब आपका माइंड डोंट नो नहीं सुनता, अपने जो डर के मारे अपने फेयरफुल इंटेंशन लगा है उसको सुन लेता है। I don't want these shoes to hurt, ये कहता है I want shoes to hurt। I can't handle all this work, I want more work that I can't handle, that I can handle। I don't want to catch the flu, I want the flu and I want catch more things। I don't want to argue, I want more argue। Don't speak to me like that, I want you to speak to me like that, and I want other people to speak me like that। The law of attraction is giving you what you thinking about that period। तो आप जो ना, नहीं, डोंट कहते हो वो नहीं सुनता। जो आप कहते हो उसकी इंटेंशन वो सुन लेता है कि ये नहीं होना चाहिए मेरे साथ, वही होता है। इसलिए इसका आंसर भी मिल गया कि आपके साथ जो आप सोच तो नहीं होना चाहिए वो क्यों हो जाता है। क्योंकि आपके साथ वो फेयरफुल इंटेंशन है और अपने माइंड को कह रहे हो कि आप ये नहीं होना चाहिए, वो सुनता है कि ये होना चाहिए। ऑटोमेटिकली वो रिजल्ट मिल जाता है, क्योंकि जैसे इसमें बुक में लिखा है कि ये लॉ बड़ा ओबीडिएंट है, बड़ा वफादार है, क्लिक काम तो करेगा। बॉब प्रॉक्टर भाई साहब ये लगातार इस बुक के अंदर, द लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन इज ऑलवेज वर्किंग whether you believe it or understand it or not। The law of attraction is the law of creation। Quantum physics tell us the entire universe emerged from thought। You create your thought, create your life through your thoughts and the law of attraction, and every single person does the same। It doesn't just work if you know about it. It has always been working in your life and every other person's life throughout history। When you became aware of this great law, then you became aware of how incredible power you are to be able to think your life into existence। लिजा निकोलस कहते हैं it's working as much as you're thinking। Anytime your thoughts are flowing, law of attraction is working। When you are thinking about the past, the law of attraction is working। When you are thinking about the present or the future, the law of attraction is working. It's an ongoing process. You don't press pause, you don't press stop. It's a forever in action. As your thoughts are. Whether we realize it or not, we are thinking most of the time. If you are speaking or listening to someone, you are thinking. If you are reading the newspaper or watching television, you are thinking. ध्यान रखें आप बार बार सोच रहे हो. And you are recalling memories from your past. अभी इस वीडियो को देख रहे हो तो अभी सोच रहे हो. You are thinking when you're considering something in the future. You are thinking when you are driving. You are thinking when you are getting ready morning. You are thinking. For many of us, the only time we are not thinking is when we are asleep. However, the forces of attraction are still operating on our last thoughts as fall asleep. Make your last thought before going to sleep good thoughts. सोने से पहले बढ़िया thoughts सोच के सोए. माइकल बर्नेट बैकविथ कहते हैं, creation is always happening. Every time an individual has a thought or prolonged chronic way of thinking, they are in the creation process. Something is going to manifest out of those thoughts. What you are thinking now is creating a future life. You create your life with the thoughts because you are always thinking. You all you are always creating. आप जितना सोच रहे हो उतना create कर रहे हैं. What you think about the most or focus on the most is what will appear as your life. जितना जो सोच रहे हो, जितना बता रहे हो, वो आपकी लाइफ में appear करेगा. And all the law of attraction, law of nature. There's utter perfection in this law. You create your life. Whatever you sow, you reap. तो बोगे वही पाओगे. The thoughts are seeds and the harvest you reap will depend on the seeds of your plant. ये विचार आपके बीज है और जब निकालते हो वो उस बीज का समावेश है, उसका accumulation है. If you are complaining, the law of attraction will powerfully bring into your life more situation for you to complain about. If you're listening to someone else complain and focusing on that, sympathizing with them, agreeing with them, in that moment, you are attracting more situation to yourself to complain about. The law is simply reflecting and giving back to you exactly what you are focusing on with your thoughts. With this powerful knowledge, you can completely change every circumstance and event in your entire life. But changing the way you think, Bill Harris, कहते हैं, teacher and founder of Central Point Research Institute. I had a student named Robert who was taking an online course, have part of which entails email access to me. Robert was gay. He outlined all of the grim realities of his life in his emails to me. In his job, the co-workers ganged up on him. It was constantly stressful because of how nasty they were with him. When he walked down the street, he was accosted by homophobic people who wanted to abuse him in the some way. He wanted to become a stand-up comedian, and when he did a stand-up comedy job, everybody heckled him about being gay. His whole life was one unhappiness and misery, and it all focused around being attacked because he was gay. I began to teach him that he was focusing on what he did not want. Directed him back to his email that he sent me and said, read it again. Look at all the things you do not want that you were telling me about. I can't tell you you are very passionate about this, and when you focus on something with a lot of passion, it makes it happen even faster. ना सोचने के लिए जो ना हो जाए जिंदगी में उसमें बड़ी पैशनेट है. इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट हमें सोचना चाहिए जिसके लिए हमें जिंदगी में चीजें हो जाए. Then he started taking this thing about focusing on what you want to hurt, began really trying it. What happened within the next 6 to 8 weeks was an absolute miracle. ये जो हमने सुना focusing on what you want to hurt, not is hurt वाला, ये hurt हो गया बुरा मान के, that is hurt, HEART, hurt, दिल. Next 6 to 8 weeks was an absolute miracle. Or the people in the office who had been harassing him at this transfer to another department, quit working in the company or started company completely leaving him alone. He began to love his job. When he walked down the street, nobody harassed him anymore. He just weren't there. When he did his stand-up comedy routines, he started getting standing ovations Nobody was heckling him. किसी ने ही नहीं चिल्लाया. His whole life changed because he changed from focusing on what he did not want, what he was afraid of, what he wanted to avoid, to focusing on what he did want. Robert's life changed because he changed his thoughts. He emitted a different frequency out into universe. The universe must deliver the pictures of new frequency, no matter how impossible situation might seem. Robert's new thoughts become his new frequency, and the pictures of his entire life changed. Life is in your hands. No matter where you are now, no matter what is happened in your life, you can begin to consciously choose your thoughts and you can change your life. There is no such thing as hopeless situation. Every single circumstances of your life can change. Power of your mind. Michael Burnett Beckwith कहते हैं, you attract to you predominant thought that you are holding in your awareness, whether thoughts are conscious or unconscious. जो predominant thought है वही आपको attraction देते हैं. That's the rub. Whether you have been aware of your thoughts in the past or not, now you are becoming aware. Right now, with the knowledge of the secret, you are waking up from a deep sleep and becoming the aware. Aware of knowledge, aware of the law, aware of the power you have through your hands, through thoughts. Dr. John D. Martin कहते हैं, if you look very carefully when it comes to secret, the power of your mind and power of your intention in our daily lives, it's all around us. All we have to do is open our eyes and look. देखना. Lisa Nicholas कहते हैं, you can see the law of attraction everywhere. You draw everything to yourself. People, the job, the circumstances, the health, the wealth, the depth, the joy, the car that you drive, the community that you are in, and you are drawn them all to you like a magnet. What you think about, you bring about. What you think about, you bring about. Your whole life is a manifestation of thoughts that go on in your head. In your head. This is a universe of inclusion, not exclusion. Nothing is excluded from the law of attraction. कुछ भी अछूता नहीं है. Your life is a mirror of the dominant thoughts you think. All living things on this planet operate through the law of attraction. The difference with humans is that they have a mind that can discern. They can use their free will to choose their thoughts. They have the power to intentionally think and create their new entire universe. They create their entire life with their mind. डॉक्टर फ्रेड एलन वोल्फ क्वांटम फिजिस्ट है, लेक्चरर है, अवार्ड विनिंग ऑथर भी हैं. कहते हैं, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग टू यू फ्रॉम द पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ऑफ wishful thinking or imaginary craziness. I'm talking to you from a deeper basic understanding. Quantum physics really begins to point to the discovery. It says that you can't have a universe without mind entering into it. That mind is actually shaping the very thing that is being perceived. If you think about the analogy of being the most powerful transmission tower in the universe, you will see the perfect correlation with Dr. Wolf's words. Your mind thinks thoughts and the pictures and broadcast back to your life experience. You not only create your life with your thoughts, but your thoughts are add powerfully to the creation of the world. If you thought that you were insignificant and had no power in this world, think again. Your mind is actually shaping the world around you. Mind आपका पूरी दुनिया आपके चारों तरफ बना रहा है. Amazing work and discoveries of quantum physics over the last 80 years has brought us to the greater understanding of unfathomable power of the human mind to create. Their work parallels to the words of the world's greatest mind, including Carnegie, Emerson, Shakespeare, Bacon, Krishna, and Buddha. For Proctor, if you don't understand the law, that doesn't mean you should reject it. You may not understand electricity and yet you enjoy the benefits of it. I don't know how it works, but I do know this. You can cook a man's dinner with electricity, and you can also cook the man. I repeat the word, the line दोबारा repeat करता हूं मैं. You can cook a man dinner with electricity, and you can also cook the man. या तो खाना बना लो, या तो आदमी को बना लो with electricity. माइकल बर्नेट बैकविथ कहते हैं, ऑफन टाइम्स व्हेन पीपल बिगिन टू अंडरस्टैंड द ग्रेट सीक्रेट, दे बिकम फ्राइटेंड of all the negative thoughts that they have. They need to be aware that it has been scientifically proven that an affirmative thought, affirmative positive thought, is 100 times more powerful than negative thought. That eliminates degree of worry right there. Positive thoughts की जो energy high होती है, it really does take many negative thoughts and persistent negative thinking to bring something negative in your life. However, if you persist in thinking negative thoughts over a period of time, they will appear in your life. If you worry about having negative thoughts, you will attract more worrying about your negative thoughts. Multiply them at the same time. Decide right now that you are going to think only good thoughts. At the same time, proclaim the universe that all your good thoughts are powerful, and they that any negative thoughts are weak. Lisa Nicholas कहते हैं, thank God that there's a time delay that's off. All of your thoughts don't come into instantly. We'd be in trouble if they did. The element of timeless serves you. It allows you to recess, to think about what you want and to make a new choice. All of your power to create your life is available right now because right now is when you are thinking. If you have had some thoughts that will not beneficial when they manifest, then right now you can change your thinking. You can rearrange your previous thought by replacing them with good thoughts. Time serves you because you can think new thoughts and emit a new frequency now. Dr. Joe Vitale. You want to become aware of your thoughts and choose your thoughts carefully, and you want to have fun with this because you are the masterpiece of your own life. आप masterpiece हो अपने life के. You're the Michelangelo of your life. The David you were sculpting is you. One way to master your mind is to learn to quiet your mind. One way to master your mind is to learn quiet your mind. अपने mind को शांत करने के तरीके से अपने mind को आप master कर सकते हैं. Without without exception, every teacher in this book uses meditation as a daily practice. It was not until I discovered the secret that I realized how powerful meditation can be. Meditation requires your mind, helps you control your thoughts, and revitalize your body. The great news is that you don't have to set aside hours to meditate. Just 3 to 10 minutes a day begin with can be incredibly powerful for the gaining control over your thoughts. To become aware of your thoughts, you can also set intention. The master of my thoughts. I'm the master of my thoughts. I'm the master of my thoughts. Say it often, meditate on it, and as you hold that intention by the law of attraction, you must become that. You are now receiving the knowledge that will enable you to create the most magnificent version of you. Most magnificent version of you. Possibility of that version of you already exists in the on the frequency of most magnificent version of you. Decide what you want to be, do, and have. Think the thought of it. With the frequency, and your vision will become your life. So, ji, first chapter finished. Our first chapter is finished, and we learn how our mind shapes from our thoughts. हमारी जिंदगी हमारे थॉट्स के अराउंड ही चलती है. हमारी जिंदगी हमारे थॉट्स ही बनती है. जो हम मैग्नेटिक एनर्जी रिसीव करते हैं, बेचते हैं, वो थॉट पे चलती है. और हमने सीखा इसकी इसकी बातों में हमने सीखा कि इसको हम दोबारा समराइज करूं मैं इसको. समराइज द ग्रेट सीक्रेट ऑफ लाइफ, लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन. लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन द ग्रेट सीक्रेट ऑफ लाइफ है. The law of attraction says like attracts like. So when you think and thought, you are attracting like thoughts to you. जो आप सोचते हो वही आपके साथ जीवन में होता चला जाता है. आप अगर ना सोचते हो, ना नहीं सोचता, वो सोचता है कि वो मेरा इंटेंशन क्या है, मेरा फियर क्या है, वो मेरे फीलिंग को सोचता है. Thoughts are magnetic and thoughts have a frequency. As you think thoughts, they are sent out to the universe and they magnetically attract all things that are same frequency. Everything sent out returns to the source you. जो आप भेजते हो वापस आपको मिलती है. You are like a human transmission tower, emitting a frequency with your thoughts. If you want to change anything in your life, चेंज द फ्रीक्वेंसी, चेंजिंग माय थॉट्स। अपने विचार से अपनी फ्रीक्वेंसी आप चेंज कर सकते हो। ये थॉट्स बिकम थिंग्स, एक लाइन हमें बड़ी पड़ी, थॉट्स बिकम थिंग्स। के विचार चीज़ों में बदल देती है। ये विचार हर चीज़ को सामने ले आती है। तो आपके विचार इतने पावरफुल हैं जो कि लॉ बहुत ओबीडिएंट हैं, आपकी लाइफ में लगते ही लगते हैं। आगे इस सिलसिले को, इस रीडिंग को पढ़ते जाएँगे। कल पढ़ते हैं हम नेक्स्ट चैप्टर। अपने माइंड को, अपने लर्निंग को इम्प्रूव करते हैं। थैंक यू सो मच। इसे देखते रहिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए इस चैनल को जिससे आपका माइंडसेट इम्प्रूव हो। थैंक यू सो मच।